Adam here with Brooksaw Antiques. Today we have this 1958 Olympia SM3 vintage portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Made in Western Germany and one of the top typewriters of all time. This eventually transitioned into the SM9, which is the second best typewriter of all time in my opinion. But these were a little bit classier looking. Excellent German engineering, the best parts you can get put into a typewriter. And it's got this nice glossy white finish with dark green keys. I'm not sure if you can tell in the video with the lens, but it's got dark green keys and knobs. Up top is the adjustable paper guide. This helps you guide the page in straight and line that up with the edge of the platen, which is the main roller that feeds the paper. And this is the left margin. I'm going to set that on 0 and the right one around 70-ish. And this is the paper support arm that flips up from the back like a switchblade and extends to show the page gauge that just notifies you when you get close to the bottom of the end of the page. And this is the paper bail that sits on top. It's got two adjustable rollers and a scale, holds the page down nice and tight. Once you hear the bell, you're near the end of the margin. Hit this line space, gets you back at the beginning, and skips 1, 1.5, or 2 spaces. Right now we have it right in the middle, which skips 3 half spaces. When you have it all the way towards you, it skips 4. When you have it all the way back, it skips 2. We're going to keep that on single for now and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line, switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side. Flip that down to the red indicator. It prints the bottom portion of the ribbon, which is red. When you have it in the middle and the white indicator, it prints no ink at all. Just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. When you have it up top on the blue indicator, it prints the top portion of the ribbon, which is black. We're going to move that down for red. Beautiful. Oops. A little bit of an error there at the end. This thing has a really light touch compared to most SM3 and 4s that I've typed on. Just really nice condition. That's where I made an error. It's pica typeface, prints 10 characters per inch. Beautiful print. Very nice condition all around. Beautiful typewriter. To pull the page out easy, we're going to use this switch on the right side that allows you to pull the page out easier, load thicker paper like carbon copying or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, and I'll show you how to use that page gauge. So it just, as you're feeding it through, there's a scale up there to tell you exactly how many spaces you have left on the page, and then it catches it for you so it doesn't fall out. Very nice. Flip this down for now and put the color back on black. Got a shift on each side, a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again, tab on the top right. Right now we have tab set on 10 space intervals. This is a manual tab set. The difference between the SM3 and the SM4 is that you have manual tabs with the scale to tell you exactly what space you're going to stop on, and you just move them just like the margins kind of. And the SM4 has tabs set and clear on the keyboard, and you can set as many as you want on the SM4. Now the difference between the two is that less maintenance over time on this version because there's less sophistication built into the tab system. For example, on the SM4, if the tab system has a problem, then your whole typewriter might go bad, and you have until you fix the tab system. But on this one, it's just straightforward. If something goes wrong with the tab, it's not necessarily going to bring your whole typewriter down, and it's easy to fix. Backspace on the right side, very good. This is your carriage lock on the top left here. If you flip it up and move the carriage to the middle, it locks the keys, the shift, and the carriage. To unlock it, just flip that down. MR stands for margin release. When you get to the end of the margin, there's a mechanism that blocks you from printing. Hit that margin release. It does allow you to pass that all the way to the end. Open the hood. All the brand new ribbons loaded on the left side, so it's pulling clockwise to the right. If you want to switch that direction manually, the side you want it to go to, just flip that ribbon guide towards the middle. On either side, it'll switch it to that direction. That's meant to catch the eyelet at the end of the ribbon, which is a little metal piece. It'll catch that and swap it automatically, so you don't actually have to get in there and do that every time one side runs out, unless you have a problem. Here's your touch control. It's all the way back. There's a minus sign and a plus sign. If the farther forward you go, the more tension there is when you hit the keys. You do have to hit the keys harder for them to print, but they respond faster. The farther back you go, the less tension. And this specific machine has a nice light touch that I like. Most Olympia SM3s and SM4s have a heavier touch, but this one has a lighter touch. Feels almost like the SM9, which is much lighter than the SM3 and 4. Carriage release on the right side only. The SM4 will have one on each side. Super smooth. The Mercedes-Benz of typewriters. This is your paper release. And if you push in this button at the end of the knob, it's kind of like push and pull on this side. That disables the spacing when you turn the knob so you can get to an exact spot on the page. It's got a really strong spring, so you might need to use both hands on that. And the same concept when you flip that switch all the way back, it disables the spacing. You flip it up to get the clicks. Or you can just pull it out on this side. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy or my new website, brooksawantiques.com.